Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett declared Senator John Kennedy unsuitable for leadership. Then he unveiled an audio clip that transformed the entire event. The Georgetown University lecture hall buzzed with anticipation. Gleaming hardwood floors stretched beneath lofty arched windows, creating an atmosphere that felt more like a coliseum than a typical academic venue. Students, professors, and local journalists filled every available chair. Their whispered conversations merged into a soft hum that pulsed through the space. Warm amber light from overhead chandeliers illuminated rows of expectant faces, with smartphones already raised to capture what everyone sensed would be a significant moment. This gathering centered on mobilizing Generation Z in US politics, a topic that had drawn considerable attention. The two prominent figures at the debate table added to the anticipation. Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana, a veteran Republican known for his quick wit and homespun charisma, faced off against Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett from Texas. Crockett has emerged as a democratic force, recognized for her passionate speaking style and unwavering resolve. The stage was set for a collision of ideologies, yet no one could have predicted the dramatic turn the night would take, as the moderator, Dr. Sarah Martinez, head of Georgetown's political science department, approached the podium. Her voice cut through the murmurs, demanding quiet. "Good evening, everyone," she began, her tone steady yet commanding. Tonight, we're here to explore a vital topic: how to motivate and involve young Americans in the political arena. Our speakers offer distinct viewpoints, and we expect a vibrant yet courteous exchange of ideas. The audience leaned forward, sensing the weight of the moment. C-SPAN cameras hummed quietly in the background, streaming the event live to a nationwide audience. Social media platforms buzzed with hashtags like Georgetown Debate and Youth in Politics. Students whispered among themselves, some clutching notebooks, others broadcasting live on their devices. The energy was electric, mixing intellectual curiosity with the thrill of witnessing a public confrontation. Senator John Kennedy sat at one end of the debate table, his posture casual but his gaze keen as he surveyed the room with the quiet assurance of a politician who had navigated decades in the turbulent waters of American governance. At 74, Kennedy was a political fixture. His distinctive southern accent and knack for memorable quips had made him a darling of conservative supporters and a formidable debater. His tailored navy suit, accented by a vibrant red tie, subtly nodded to his Louisiana heritage, and he adjusted his glasses with a faint smile, exuding ease as if he were as comfortable here as in the Senate chamber. Opposite him sat Jasmine Crockett, her presence a sharp contrast. At 43, she radiated the dynamism of a new wave of political leaders. Her striking red blazer stood out boldly against the hall's muted tones, reflecting her reputation as a fearless civil rights lawyer turned congresswoman whose viral moments in congressional hearings had won her a devoted progressive following. Her dark eyes gleamed with resolve, and her stance poised like an athlete ready for action. Kennedy's seasoned tranquility faced off against Crockett's vibrant intensity. Experience met ambition. Tradition prepared to clash with progress. The audience sensed the mounting tension, a tangible feeling that this was no routine debate. Dr. Martinez introduced the speakers, acknowledging their achievements. Senator John Kennedy has served Louisiana with commitment, bringing his unique outlook to the national stage, she said, prompting polite applause. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, representing Texas's 30th district, has rapidly emerged as a compelling advocate for her constituents. Known for her dedication to fairness and equality, the applause intensified, particularly among younger attendees who admired Crockett's bold approach. Martinez outlined the format, a 45-minute discussion with equal time for each speaker to answer questions and respond to each other. The opening query was direct. How can we better involve young Americans in politics? Crockett was invited to speak first. She rose with deliberate poise, her voice clear and authoritative. Thank you, Dr. Martinez, and thank you, Georgetown, for hosting this crucial dialogue. She began, her tone warm yet resolute. Engaging Generation Z begins with genuineness. Young people are weary of hollow pledges and superficial politics. They seek leaders who confront power head-on, advocating for issues like economic access, climate solutions, and racial equity. She paused briefly before continuing. We need voter registration campaigns in high schools, practical civic education, and representation that mirrors this nation's diversity. Young people don't just want a voice, they want to shape the conversation themselves. Her words struck a chord, especially with students who nodded eagerly, some murmuring agreement. Crockett's delivery was refined and passionate, her points landing with the precision of someone skilled at connecting with an audience. The applause came quickly, a surge of approval rippling through the hall. Kennedy leaned forward slightly, hands clasped on the table, his expression one of quiet amusement, as if about to share a tale over a meal rather than address a national audience. "Well, Dr. Martinez, I'm grateful to be here with these good people," he began, his Louisiana drawl stretching each syllable like a song. "Congresswoman Crockett raises some valid points, and I agree young folks need to feel valued. But I'd say it's not just about registration drives or classroom lessons." He paused briefly. "It's about proving to young people that politics can be a space for practical solutions and common sense. In Louisiana, we speak plainly. We don't gloss over challenges or promise the impossible. We engage youth by respecting their intelligence, showing them government can serve them when it focuses on what matters: jobs, safety, opportunity. That's what sparks enthusiasm for voting. Not flashy rhetoric, but tangible outcomes." His tone was conversational, his words measured. The audience responded with chuckles and applause, his ability to simplify complex ideas grounding the room after Crockett's fiery start. The mood shifted when Crockett leaned into her microphone, her expression hardening. "Senator Kennedy, with all respect," she said, her voice sharp, "I question whether you're the right figure to inspire America's youth. Your folksy charm and catchy phrases may resonate on news channels, but they seem disconnected from what young people need today. Your voting history resists bold reforms on climate action and criminal justice that Gen Z deeply values. Frankly, Senator, I'd argue you're unsuitable to lead the effort to engage the next generation." The word unsuitable hit like a lightning bolt, silencing the room. Students exchanged shocked glances, their phones capturing every second. C-SPAN cameras zoomed in, recording the tension on every face. Crockett's accusation was daring, a direct challenge to a seasoned politician known for his quick wit and unshakable poise. Whispers spread through the audience. Had she overstepped? Was this the moment the debate would erupt? Kennedy's smile held, but his eyes narrowed slightly. A spark of intensity beneath his calm exterior. He adjusted his glasses and leaned back, letting the silence linger as if relishing the challenge. The audience held its breath, sensing the discussion had escalated beyond youth engagement into a clash of wills. Crockett pressed her advantage, her voice rising with conviction. Young people face crises like climate change, economic disparity, and systemic inequities. They seek leaders who champion transformative change, not preserve the existing order. Senator, your record suggests a preference for maintaining tradition over action. How can someone so rooted in the past inspire a generation demanding a future? Her words struck like a rallying cry. Applause erupted from younger students who saw her as their voice. Social media lit up with posts praising her boldness. Crockett just challenged Kennedy's entire career. Georgetown debate. One tweet read, gaining thousands of likes. Others in the room shifted uneasily. They sensed her attack had ventured into personal territory. Dr. Martinez raised a hand to restore order, her expression neutral, but her eyes flicking between the speakers. Senator Kennedy, your response? She prompted, a hint of curiosity in her tone. Kennedy took a slow sip of water, letting the tension build. When he spoke, his voice was steady, his drawl deliberate. Well, Congresswoman, I admire your fire, he began, almost fatherly, but I reckon you've mistaken experience for being outdated. I've spent my Senate years listening to folks, young, old, and everyone in between. They want someone who speaks plainly, not someone chasing headlines with grand promises that don't hold up. He paused, then continued. You call me unsuitable, but let's discuss what suitability means. Showing up for your people, fighting for their jobs, schools, communities. Change comes through hard work, not the loudest voice. The audience applauded. Older attendees and students who valued Kennedy's straightforward style responded especially well. Kennedy wasn't finished. Now, I don't like getting personal, he continued, his voice lowering slightly, but since you've thrown down the gauntlet, I have something to share that might reframe this discussion. He reached into his jacket, pulling out a small digital recorder. The device sparked curiosity throughout the room. "Folks, I believe in honest conversations," he said, his eyes locking with Crockett's. "And I've got something here that might help us have one." The room fell silent. The air grew heavy with anticipation. Students leaned forward, phones aimed at Kennedy. Crockett's confident demeanor wavered briefly, her eyes narrowing as she watched him hold the device. Whispers spread like wildfire. What was on the tape? Was Kennedy about to shift the narrative? Dr. Martinez hesitated before speaking. "Senator, are you suggesting you have evidence relevant to this discussion?" she asked cautiously. Kennedy nodded, his smile tinged with mischief. "I do, Dr. Martinez, and I think these folks deserve to hear it." The audience was on edge as Kennedy's finger hovered over the play button. Social media exploded with speculation. "What's Kennedy got? This is about to get wild. Georgetown debate." One post read, shared hundreds of times. Crockett sat back, arms crossed, her expression unreadable but tense. The debate had started as a discussion about youth engagement, but now had taken a dramatic turn. Everyone knew they were witnessing the start of a confrontation that would be remembered for years. The Georgetown debate hall was a pressure cooker, the air thick with expectation as Senator John Kennedy held the small recorder aloft, its unassuming black casing glinting under the chandeliers. The audience of students, faculty, and reporters sat frozen, their attention fixed on the device promising to alter the evening's course. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett maintained a composed facade, but the slight tightening of her jaw revealed a flicker of unease. Her bold claim, labeling Kennedy unsuitable, had set the stage for a showdown. Now Kennedy was poised to respond in an unexpected way. C-SPAN cameras captured every detail, while students' phones lit up the room, streaming to a world buzzing with Georgetown debate. Dr. Sarah Martinez cleared her throat, her voice piercing the tense silence. "Senator Kennedy, you've indicated a recording. Can you clarify its relevance?" she asked, her tone professional yet curious. Kennedy's eyes twinkled with mischief, his drawl slow and deliberate. "Dr. Martinez, this is highly relevant. When someone calls you unsuitable before a crowd, you don't just sit there. You bring the truth forward." He tapped the recorder. "This will shed light on what's really happening." The audience leaned in, a low murmur spreading through the hall. Crockett's posture stiffened, her eyes flicking to the recorder, then back to Kennedy, as if calculating her next move. Kennedy leaned back, his demeanor relaxed yet precise. "Congresswoman, you've got passion, and I respect that. Calling me unsuitable is a strong statement. You say I'm outdated, stuck in the past. But engaging young folks isn't about who shouts loudest or gets the most social media likes. It's about trust showing up consistently with practical ideas. In Louisiana, young people are starting businesses, attending college, and serving communities. They don't need flashy promises, they need leaders who keep their word." His voice was steady, his accent warm, and the audience nodded, some clapping softly. Kennedy's ability to make complex ideas feel accessible showed in every response, and he remained unrattled by Crockett's attack. The recording had changed everything, though. It exposed Crockett's private admission that her public criticism was strategic. As the debate closed, Kennedy addressed the audience directly. His drawl carried both comfort and command. "Folks, I didn't come to embarrass anyone," he said gently, "but in a room with these bright minds and people watching at home, you owe them honesty. Politics isn't a game of traps. It's about serving people. Young folks can spot inauthenticity from miles away. They want leaders who mean what they say, whether in a debate hall or a quiet chat. That's how you inspire them to vote. To engage, you show them their trust is well placed." The audience roared. Students and faculty nodded, their respect for Kennedy's principled stand evident in their reactions. The Georgetown debate became a lesson in authenticity, reminding all that leadership demands consistency, not just charisma. It inspired a new generation to demand integrity in politics. Hi.